Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is John. This is The Geek and I. We are live tonight. I just got back from seeing Star Trek II in theaters, and it's been quite a week for me for movies. Tonight I saw Star Trek II, and Tuesday night I got to see Jaws in 3D. It was well.
Is this
We'll get to
the
that.
this is the original Jaws, like the 1975, 76?
1975 Jaws, yes.
And in 3D.
In 3D. It was fantastic. I don't know if you get a chance to go to catch it before it leaves theaters, you need to go see it because it was phenomenal. You feel like you're on the boat.
I will put it on my list of things.
Yeah, it's not in theaters for too long. It's it started Labor Day weekend, and I think it's only going. I'm not sure how long it's going to go, but we got to see it Tuesday night, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. The imagery, I can't tell you how cool it was. I want Jaws 2 in 3D now because that is my favorite. No, I can't say it's my favorite one, but I really enjoy Jaws 2.
You didn't like Jaws: The Revenge?
I actually saw that, and that's the only one I saw in theaters, and for some reason, it just didn't do it for me. So I wasn't impressed with their Jaws there, especially at the end where the shark comes up out of the water and gives that King Kong roar. I didn't know sharks could do that.
And then get skewered by the boat?
Yeah, and then yeah. That was it's a bit strange. I don't know why that happened. Can you check your mic because you're coming in kind of low? Are you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Hang on, I'm gonna go get a headset real quick. Just bear with me.
Okay. So when we got to see Jaws in 3D, and the effects were amazing. The things that you could see that you never. I found myself. It was weird, I was really into. I watch Jaws every summer, and it's kind of the kickoff to the summer, and this version of Jaws, it was like a completely new movie. It was, you could actually, I found myself looking out windows. They wake up in the scene in the morning, and he's saying for the first time, you're meeting everybody, and there he is, waking up, talking about the sun. Like when he says the sun never rose in this room before, and she's like, "Well, we bought the house in the fall," and I'm looking out the windows instead of watching them, because you can actually, it's actually layers upon layers upon layers. It's not like that old 3D where it was
Cheap looking.
where what yeah. And you know what, Spielberg does depth of field, I think, better than anyone. And his movie, even not in 3D, is kind of 3D-ish, but you put the 3D in there and it's just fantastic. I was so impressed with there's the scene in on the boat where Brody is chumming, and you have Quint teaching him how to do the knots, and he's saying, in it goes in the hole, and the rabbit comes out of the hole and goes around and goes in the hole again, and he pulls it and he doesn't get and then the reel, as he's sitting there eating his chips, the reel just goes. So the shark is slowly bringing that thing out, and the amazing depth of field that not only that, but the 3D brings is you see the line of you see the fishing line. And the fishing line has depth. That little tiny wire has depth between you and Quint, and it's just amazing, amazing. And I think I have let's see if I can bring it up here. Let's see. See if I can find it. I had all this laid out, and we'll start with this one here. This one is I don't know if you can. I can't. You know what? We've taken over the show, and this scene was amazing in 3D. You see the depth of the swimmer, and just the amazing. What you see is just so fantastic. I wish you could see. You got to go see it. That's all I got to say is you have to go see this in 3D. You know what? You go see it in 3D, and then let me know when you've seen it, and we'll come back and we'll do this again, because there's just stuff upon stuff upon stuff. The scene at the end where spoiler alert, after he blows up the shark, and you have Hooper comes up out of the water, and Brody's on top of the I don't know nautical terms, but he's on top of the lookout, the crow's nest, I guess, from what I could remember it being called somewhere. And you see Hooper, you see the sunken ship, you see pieces floating by the screen, and you see Brody, and it's just an amazing set of layers, and it just adds a whole new dimension to the film. So I hope they do this. I walked out of the theater and I told my wife, I said, they need to do Close Encounters of the Third Kind like this. Universal needs to go another step and do Close Encounters of the Third Kind in 3D. I think that would be fantastic.
I could see that.
It's just so good. And tonight I got to see Star Trek II, the 40th anniversary director's cut. That was a film. What is it? The Fathom event. So Turner Classic Movies, and what's his name, Ben Mankiewicz or Brian Mankiewicz. But I think it's Ben. He's on before introducing the introducing the movie, and he says he said in the at the end of the movie that there was, I don't know if you know the story, there was a leak about Spock's death to try and get it, and people were outraged. So yeah, and this is before the internet, of course, but there was a leak of the script of Spock's death, and he said that the rumor has it is Gene Roddenberry actually leaked the script because he did not want Spock to die, and this was his way of getting them to like change the script, and Harv Bennett was like, nope, Spock's going. This is what we're doing. Imagine that today, with the online situation that is going on, with DC and Marvel and Star Wars and even Star Trek on Paramount. It's just imagine if the internet was around.
When Spock died.
Yeah. Now I'm sure you've seen Star Trek too, right?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, I'm not a Star Trek fan, but that is my absolute favorite Star Trek movie. I've watched that one over and over and over again.
How could you not be a Star Trek fan?
I like Star Wars better.
Well, you see, I was thinking about it while I was in the theater. I grew up, a Star Wars fan. I loved Star Wars since I saw it in '77. Empire Strikes Back was, an even bigger bombshell on me. I remember the theaters I've seen these in. I remember who I was with. And then in probably 1982, we got, is it 82? It must have been 82. We got a video disc player. And this is how I first watched Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
On a laser disc?
On a laser disc. We had a giant, I say giant, but it was a 25-inch television.
Ours was only 13.
But it was stereo. It was one of the first stereo TVs, and on the back of the laser disc player, not the laser disc player, the CED player, you had the red and white cables, and you ran it, and you had to hit a special button. Every time you went from regular TV to video, you had to get up and press a button. It wasn't even on the remote. There was like 4 buttons on the remote, on and off, which was one button, volume up, volume down, channel up, and channel down. Those were the only 4 buttons on my remote control.
You had a remote control? We had knobs. We had to get up and change it.
Yes, well, this is the TV after after the knobs. We had a knob TV that went all the way up to channel 13. But this one we got when I remember buying this at a store on Long Island called PC Richard and Son. And when we bought it, they were playing the very first week of MTV.
When MTV played music?
When MTV played music, yeah. And the the sound, you'd have to get up and you'd have to hit the stereo button. And I remember setting up my dad's recliner, dead center of the television, and watching Star Trek II for the first time, because I hadn't seen it in the theaters yet. And I think that's when I became more of a Star Trek fan than Star Wars. And then, the next year, Return of the Jedi came out. And I loved Return of the Jedi. Kind of brought me back a little bit. I cried when Darth Vader died. I remember seeing that in the theater, crying when Vader died. But then what happened? Star Wars went away forever.
Oh,
Forever.
it was only till like 95 or
99. 99.
Well, but you had a resurgence in 91 when Timothy Zahn wrote his novels, and you had all the expanded universe come out.
But
then,
but you know me from your show, and I forgot to introduce David as the host of Geek News Now. It's the Star Wars Cantina Happy Hour every Thursday, but this week on Friday.
This week on Friday.
Is that the title this week? The Star Wars Cantina Happy Hour.
Yep.
On Thursday, but this week on Friday.
That's right.
And I read the 3 Zahn books. That's as far as I got.
Oh.
I would buy the comics, wouldn't read them, didn't read them. Not that I wouldn't read them, I just didn't read them. I would go and buy them. I have I have a comic. I think it's called Han Solo at Star's End or something like that, and it's got
a novel, yeah.
Some kind of green rabbit. It's got a green rabbit on the cover of the comic. I have a couple of I guess it's the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse comics.
The Dark Empire ones.
Hold on a sec. My chair is losing gas. There we go. And because I was more of a movie person, and the only thing that we had Star Wars was
the 3 movies.
No, we also had the Ewok Adventure.
No. Just
and we had what was the one that was after the Ewok Adventure? That was
the Battle for Endor.
The Battle for Endor. Yes. So that was it as far as Star Wars. If you were I'll call myself a Star Wars novice because I love the movies, and to me that's what Star Wars is. It was never about books. It was never about comics. And I know you can go on for days about stuff like that, but it was that dry period of Star Wars where I became a Star Trek fan, because you had, 82 was Star Trek II. I think 84, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was sooner than that. I thought it was 83, but
84, I think it was 84 that was Search for Spock. And then 86 was, or was it 85?
The Final Frontier, was that the next one?
Was 86?
Oh, no, you had the Voyage Home. You had to do the Voyage Home first.
Yeah. Right, Voyage Home was it. That's right. Voyage Home was 86 because that's when Challenger exploded.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when they had that memorial card. And that's where I became and then 86 was also Next Generation. So
I thought that was 87.
it might have been, end of 86, 87 ish, if you're taking into consideration TV seasons. And we're still, even in 87, even if it was 87, we're still 12 years away from another Star Wars movie. So, I think Star Wars did itself a big disservice, not doing anything, and not that what they're doing nowadays is I'm not going to say it's horrible. I will watch it because it is Star Wars, and the other side of that coin is I won't watch Star Trek anymore. They've lost me completely with what they're doing on TV right now. I haven't watched past season 2 of Discovery. I struggled through Picard. I've watched maybe 5 or 6 episodes of Strange New Worlds. Just doesn't do it for me.
You know what? As far as Star Trek goes, the Next Generation. I love the Next Generation. I have binged watched that 2 or 3 times. Wrath of Khan is one of my favorites. First Contact.
First Contact is another one that is top of the list for me. I think if I had to rank them, of course, Star Trek 2 is going to be the best one, and then probably Star Trek 6, 4, 3. It's a tie between 1 and 5.
What about Insurrection?
Insurrection, to me, when I walked out of Insurrection, and I don't know if you've watched any Next Generation episodes that enough for you to remember them, but there was an episode of The Next Generation where Worf and his brother, do you remember Worf's brother?
Mm-hmm.
The human?
The one that, because he was adopted by the Russian. Yeah.
Right. I think it was, I want to say Paul Sorvino, but he was a Paul Sorvino type of guy in this episode.
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure if it was Paul Sorvino or not, but
no, it was.
It was Paul Sorvino. Okay,
yeah.
So there was an episode of Star Trek where they had to get their group out off this planet, and they had to trick them to do that, and that's what Insurrection was. Yeah. It was basically that episode.
My whole thing with Insurrection was I saw that I actually saw that one in the theater, and the only reason to go see that because there was a trailer for episode 1 in front of the movie. So basically I see the trailer.
So that's how they got you?
That's how they got me.
And you stayed? Because I know
I did.
I know the Phantom Menace also played with Meet Joe Black, and that's why Meet Joe Black took the box office that weekend. Because everybody went to, because I was working in a theater. I was working at the United Artists Farmingdale theater. It was the 10 screen on Long Island, and that's the week. I went up to my manager. I was the assistant, and I said, "Look, you got to move Meet Joe Black into the big house. 500. It was 500 seats. You got to move Meet Joe Black into the big house." And he's like, "Why? I don't think anybody's going to go see this thing." I said, "No one's going to go see Meet Joe Black. They're going to go watch the trailer, and they're going to leave." And that's what happened for that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Is people came in, bought their Meet Joe Black tickets, and left.
Yep.
And by the time they were done, 8, 9 people were in the theater, 500 seat cinema, but we sold all the seats. So, I mean, that was I can't believe that they had it with, what'd you say it was with Insurrection?
Insurrection, yeah.
What year was that?
98.
And you have that in front of you?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, because that was not a good one.
It was winter 98.
Because they started coming out in at Christmas time for some reason. Everything switched from being summer movies to being holiday movies, because everything used to come out between May and July before everybody went back to school, and then all of a sudden, you used to get a couple of trickling in at Thanksgiving, but those were like holiday movies, and then all of a sudden everything went Christmas holiday, and then after Insurrection, let's see, that was Nemesis, correct?
Yes.
And that was horrible too. That was the end of Star Trek.
That was that's the one where he has like a Romulan son, right?
No, it's a clone.
A clone.
It's Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Played the clone. A Tom Hardy that is thin as a pencil compared to his Bane Tom Hardy. But that was actually written by a fan. He submitted some fan submitted a script, and they were like, "Hey, what the heck? We haven't got any good ideas, so let's use this." and that's where they killed off Data.
Yeah.
But
what about the reboot series?
The first one was okay. I enjoyed the first one. I wish Into Darkness didn't spoil the reveal that Cumberbatch was Khan. Because that would have been...
It had Cumberbatch in it. That made the movie.
Well, yeah, but when you know that he's playing Khan, and and then they switch the storyline at the end, and they kill Kirk instead of Spock. That was kind of cool. But then Star Trek died again with Star Trek Beyond, also known as Fast and Furious in Space, because I think that was James Wan who did the Fast and Furious movies?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah,
let's see. Nemesis.
Yeah, I think that was James Wan.
I'm trying to find it real quick. I'm actually Star Trek Beyond. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Idiot. Let's see. It's Justin Lin.
Justin
Lin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. James Wan is the guy that does all the...
But yes, you're right. He has done several Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, James Wan is the guy that does all the horror movies that I don't watch. That's who that is. But I don't know if you get a chance. And this thing was the director's cut of Star Trek 2.
Was there new footage?
I have the director's cut on DVD, but it's one of those where they're releasing the director's cut on DVD and Blu-ray, and you go and you buy it, and it goes right on your shelf.
Right.
You never open it up. There was extended scenes. There was more dialogue, and they removed the scene inside after they go down into the Genesis cave. They remove the scene where Khan says to Kirk, "I'm going to leave you like you left her, marooned on a dead planet for all eternity." And then he's just like, "Khan!" They took that out. They took that whole speech out.
What?
Yeah, it was so much better. It was so, I was talking to two guys that were in the row behind me after the movie ended, and I said, "Now, I'm not sure if I fell asleep for a little while or not, because I was really tired. I got home from work today and I just passed out, and luckily I woke up at 6:30 in time to get to the theater for 7. But I said, yeah, I'm not sure if I fell asleep or not, but I don't remember him yelling Khan." And they're like, "No, I was just telling my buddy that they took that whole thing out."
That's like the epitome scene right there.
That is and it worked. It worked, and to me, I watched this movie on the big screen for the first time in a long time. I had seen it in a theater maybe 7 or 8 years ago when I lived in Round Rock, and I looked at it as, you meet Khan, and he is a determined, headstrong leader of his people. And then you see the Kirk scenes. He looks broken and tired and old. And along the way, you get the feeling that, because as soon as he gets back to the chair with a mission, the life starts to come back to him. And that's something I've never noticed before. You watch it at home, and you put it on the TV, and you're like, okay, so let me put on Star Trek 2. Let me watch that. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me vacuum. And you go and you vacuum the living room while it's on the TV, and you don't really watch it. It's just there in the background because you can see everything in your head just by listening to it. And to sit down and watch it on the big screen, you can actually see these little minute details. And I never really noticed it before, how strong Khan was and how weak Kirk was in the beginning. And seeing it on the big screen, I also noticed a lot of little details, like if you look in the background of his room, he's got an old Commodore computer in his antiques collection, and it was just fantastic. But I gotta recommend and come back on if you get a chance to see it, because I want to talk about the details of Jaws in 3D, because it's fantastic. I don't know how long it's playing, but run to your Cinemark, and it's also playing. Do you have an XD or do you have an IMAX near you?
I do not have an IMAX, but I do have XD.
It's playing in IMAX 3D.
Ooh.
So, and I think it's playing in Frisco. So if you take the drive to Frisco to catch it in IMAX 3D, I don't know if it's in. It'd probably be in Real D in the XD theaters.
I'm looking it up right now.
But it's fantastic. It is worth the extra money. We went on a Tuesday, so not only did we get in using the Cinemark, what is that? The Cinemark Movie Club. We also got Tuesday discount Tuesday. So I think it cost us like, I think a ticket would be like $8 for a 3D movie. It's $5 and then $2 or $3 for the 3D glasses. But
Let's see.
it is definitely worth it. And if you have a chance, take the little ones to see it, because they'll never go. They won't even go swimming in the lake. I guarantee you, they will not even go in the lake.
So I've got to ask, since we've been talking about these two movies, the best or most memorable line from each movie.
Probably in Star Trek II, I would say my most memorable line is I kind of like when it shows you how evil he is. When Khan takes the little animals off of the shell. Yeah, the little worm thingies. And he puts them in the helmet and he says, "These are pets, of course." And he just throws the helmet on. And to me, that's just so, it's just so, taking your pets and going to torture somebody with them. To me, that's a great line and a great moment in the film. And as far as Jaws, I think there is I don't know how familiar you are with the lines in Jaws.
Well, it's one of my favorite movies.
Okay, so there's a line where Matt Hooper shows up and he's trying to get Brody's attention on the dock, and he says Brody says to Hooper, will you go tell those guys to get off the boat? And he's like, "Excuse me, gentlemen, the officer wanted me to tell you that you're putting too many people on the boat." And he goes, "Yeah, what is it?" He goes, "Oh, okay." And then he says, Could you tell me where there's a good place to eat on the island?" And one of the guys goes, "Yeah, you walk straight ahead." To me, that's the best line, because I laugh at that line all the time.
It was the follow-up line to that. Those guys on that boat, they're all going to
die. Yeah. When he's got his giggle, he turns around and he goes, "They're all going to die."
No, best line, my most memorable from Jaws was when the captain was talking about the Indianapolis, that he was on the boat and it had been sunk in sharks. Just that it gets me every time.
Oh, well, there's a difference between, best memorable line.
Oh yeah.
And an iconic speech. And that's an iconic speech. And another line that I love, gets me every time, is, and it goes by really quick, and not many people catch it. It's when they're talking about their scars. And Hooper's he shows the leg, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll drink to your leg. We'll drink to our legs." And then he's like, I got that beat. And he pulls his shirt down and he goes, You see that? And Brody says, "You're wearing a sweater," because he's just got so much hair that you're wearing a sweater. And to me, that's another great line. And I mean, it's full of them. The movie is full of them.
You talked about iconic speeches, and that probably counts my Star Trek 2 line. Again, gets me every time. Is when they're at the funeral spot, and he says, of all the beings I've encountered, his soul was the most human.
Yeah. And it's I wish my my wife has not seen any of the Star Trek films. She's not into it. I wish she had gone and seen this tonight, because on the big screen, this director's cut it's so much better. It's so much better because the part at the end where David comes in and apologizes and says, "I'm proud, so very proud to be your son," and Kirk doesn't know what to do except a clumsy hug, which you know he's never done before, and I think she would have really enjoyed the movie, but it's just sometimes you can't drag them in. Kicking and screaming, maybe, but that's about it. Well, Dave, I want to thank you. We're a little over time already. I told you. I know I told you about a half an hour.
That's okay. But like I said, I didn't get to do my show tonight. So.
And what are you guys talking about
tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night on the. Let's see if I can do this again. It's the Geek News Now Star Wars Cantina Happy Hour.
Not the Star Wars. This Cantina Happy Hour.
The Cantina Happy Hour on Thursday, but this week on Friday.
So this week we're talking about if you have Disney Plus and you've seen it, and or drop the big like 10-minute. Hey, here's what we're doing show kind of thing, like a making of thing, but we're going to discuss that, and then we're also discussing the series finale of Rebels.
Okay, all right. How was that? That's another. It's one of those things that never.
You didn't get into it.
Never.
Rebels. Rebels. I was never really a huge fan of Rebels. But on the show we've been talking a lot about it. It was better than it was.
Now that's the one with Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the robot's name? Gronk or Chopper. Why is he called Chopper? Does he chop stuff? Is he like a mulching machine? Does he mow the lawn and then?
What was the line from Ninja Turtles? Maybe all that hardware for making coleslaw.
Yeah, I've that's another one of those that I haven't gotten into. And then also, I think as far as I got after Revenge of the Sith was the 5-minute Cartoon Network.
The micro series one.
The micro series. I enjoyed that, and then once they expanded it, I kind of.
They didn't really expand it. They kind of soft reboot.
Oh, was it? They stopped. and then they just did it all, like did it all over again. Because did that have an ending? I don't even remember if that had an ending.
It kind of did. The last episode was Grievous kidnapping kidnapping the Senator Palpatine, and taking him up to the ship, which is where episode 3 starts.
Okay.
It kind of did, but it was like I said. The show went into more of a more details, and it was kind of a soft reboot. It was kind of a soft reboot to this thing.
All right. So before we go, and you just reminded me that there was, if my computer will work.
That
might work.
I could get into that show, I think. But I'm not about to go spend money on Paramount Plus for it.
Well, if you have T-Mobile, it's free. Really? I haven't paid for it in 2 years.
I thought Netflix was free with T-Mobile
and Paramount Plus.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go try that now.
Yep. So
you may have just made my day.
Well, that's why you come on the Geek and I podcast. We make your day. Well, Dave, thank you for spending some time with us. Thank you for talking movies. Don't forget to check Dave out on the Cantina Happy Hour over on Geek News Now. I will. As soon as you have your stream set up for tomorrow yet? As soon as you get your stream set up, send me the link and I'll post it below for the replay on here, and we will catch you again. Hopefully, we'll have some cool stuff to talk about. Always into talking movies and TV shows, and I just got an invite from Chris to make my triumphant return to MCU Mondays. So
you're coming back?
I might, Rabbit. I might.
I kind of like.
Yes, you are. I consider you a co-host along with Chris and what's her name?
Debbie.
That's right, Debbie.
Debbie's also on Cantina Happy Hour with us too.
Yes, she knows so much. Does she ever leave the house, or does she just watch TV all the time?
And read.
She reads a lot, right? She knows. She knows all the comics. And see, I'm not when I'm watching you guys on the Cantina Happy Hour and on MCU Mondays. I'm always in the chat. I'm dropping the joke grenades. That you mention something and I'll throw it in the chat, and 10 minutes later it'll go off and you guys will see it in the chat. But Dave, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I know it's late for you where you are. What the hell am I talking about? It's the same time. It's the same time here. So again, thanks a lot. We will talk to you soon. Don't forget to go subscribe to Geek News Now. Catch all of Dave's programming. You do writing for stuff on the Geek News Now website?
I do occasionally. I'm running the writer right now. So
okay, and you still doing Lego stuff?
Religiously.
Is that the Apollo?
Oh,
is that a Saturn V?
That is a Saturn V.
Wow!
It's even got the landing module and the capsule. What's so interesting about that is that set has 1,969 pieces. 1969, which was
Yes.
very cool.
3 weeks before I was born. My dad worked on the lunar module for Grumman. I used to have one of those with the gold tin foil. I built a model with the gold tin foil to go around the bottom.
Very cool.
That set should come with a stage and cameramen. Actually, they should do that with a Capricorn 1.
Yeah.
That would be cool to have a Capricorn 1 a Lego set with cameras and a fake set and stuff like that. So, well, Dave, thanks again. Appreciate it. We are hitting almost an hour. I could go on forever to talk Star Trek, and especially Star Trek 2. And if you do get to go see Jaws, please let me know.
Oh, I will.
And I'll see if I don't know if you remember my friend Martin. He's the one that tipped me off about Jaws because he posted about it on Facebook, and he's like, watching Jaws in 3D, and I was like, okay, Jaws 75 or Jaws 83?
Jaws 3 in 3D.
He's like, no, Jaws 75. And I was like, what? And I immediately jumped on the phone and got tickets for Cinemark because I had to. I have Jaws 3 on Blu-ray in 3D. And the Blu-rays, the 3D and the Blu-ray is pretty good. It's not that red and blue like it used to be. So, all right. Thanks for watching. We will see you again soon. Until then, in the great words of my co-host, who is probably sleeping right now, Jeff Dickinson, we will see you on the next one. Peace.